All right. Welcome back to Cross Channel. It's been a while. I've been so distracted lately, but I'm glad to be back, even for an hour. Let's try to keep it at least 1 hour a day, if I could. Where did we stop? It's literally been a week since. Is it literally a week? No, of course not. But like, oh no, it is literally been a week. Wait, is this? Give me a second. I hate it when Cross Channel messes up. Sometimes it does that. I'm using Magpie for scale this up. Okay, there you go. It's back. Is it really this one? It is. Okay. Good. Now then, why don't we go to bed? For another Joe-sama, Toko. You're weak at chess. I stretch. 10 wins, 0 losses. When we came back from the beach, Toko had withered for some reason, so I challenged her to a game in order to take her mind off of whatever it was. Do you need a snack? She shook her head. Then let's sleep. Come on, come here now. I called softly to her, and her face turned red. Man, I missed this fucking video, man. She got up on the bed. I hugged her. I repeatedly kissed her neck. Right away. Why are you saying what?
あんたがチェスで負けた罰として犬語を強要したんじゃない
Ah, did I do that? I've forgotten. Wasereteta. Keep talking like a dog.
その前に一つ質問なんだけど、いつまで犬やってればいいの？
Until Toko wins the chess game.
好きだって死んじゃう
She covered her face. Then I'll spend the next hour doing perverted things, and if Toko doesn't come once, I'll forgive her.
変態変態変態
Hee
変態変態変態
That's correct, Ojo-sama.
1時間
Yes. I prop up my jaw with one hand and examine her. While having sex, we usually touch each other softly for around an hour. There's no need to rush these things, and there's no lack of time, so it's only natural. That was all Toko needed to know to make her decision.
いいわよ楽勝だと思うわ
Ooh, big girl, huh? Well, let's see if you don't come in 1 hour, huh? Those words can't be said. She lit a fire. Is that so? Now, in this house, the guests sleep on the floor.
床が硬いと眠れないのに
When a girl lies down, I'll have to keep doing perverted things to them all night.
しかないって
If you can't sleep, just use one of the beds in the other rooms.
うーん
She was worrying. Her eyes felt pain. My heart was also feeling pain. Do you have a complaint?
いいここで寝るわよ
Damn, she's cute. She doesn't want to sleep away from me. But I can't fall for it. Toko's getting more and more hopeless, as if she's melting away. Just like a piece of candy. That's why I'll take my time and lick her very slowly. So, she doesn't disappear.
太一適度に厳しい
Right so. Oyasumi.
硬い痛い
She lays down inside the futon on the floor. I lay down too. I got a sense that the atmosphere had quieted down in an instant. The starlight through the windows became innumerable columns, forming a comb. It was like another world.
ねえ太一
She spoke behind me.
と一緒にいられるのかな。
Even if I said no, you cling to me anyway.
だったら平気かな。
Why are you asking
だ
that?
って人が消えたのよ。私たちだっていつか消えるならせめて一緒がいいのに。
Coco fell asleep. Together, huh? I hadn't thought about it too deeply. About the fact that humanity was gone. Why did they disappear? In what way did they disappear? There was nothing to base an explanation on. Even Yoko-chan isn't coming to say anything. She mustn't know anything about it herself. Even if she was here, we wouldn't be able to see or rise the cause. I looked out the window at the night sky. That's why there's nothing for us eight to do but to keep living on, while hurting and loving one another. Waking up. Coco was sleeping next to me, lightly breathing. She seemed to be sleeping soundly. She crawled in here in the middle of the night, a woman with deep sins. I needed to sexually harass her as I promised. I had morning wood anyway, so that quasi-sexual desire was making my hips ache. Coco dimly opened her eyes. I pulled my pants back up like a flash of lightning.
大地どこ？
In front of you. I stood by the side of the bed and changed the angle of my neck as I looked at her.
おはよう大地。
Ah. Okay, she doesn't know.
大地。
She stood up. She hugged me.
大地。
Her kiss closed in. A dubious face. Not good. One step before displeasure.
どうして避けるのよ。朝のキスでしょ。
She closed in again. Yeah, a morning kiss. Okay, please wait a bit. I threw back my head to run away. Since she was holding my neck, I couldn't actually run.
ほら、逃げないで。
I kissed Toko's forehead. Now let's get changed.
そんなんじゃダメ。ちゃんとするの。
Right.
口にキス？朝はそうなの。
The mouth. The mouth. The mouth I ejaculated in. Okay, I'll do it. Close your eyes.
はい。
Toko's upward face was a chestnut brown flower, full of dreams and happiness. I touched my lips to her nose. Kiss.
大地、そこ鼻？
I'm sorry. I can't quite tell where your mouth is.
何言ってるのよ。
Is it here? Her cheek.
大地、いい加減にしないと。
Okay, it's right here, see? The corner of her lips, the limit line.
うん。
Consequently, an unsatisfied face.
だったわよ。歯を磨いてからしたいわけね。気を使ってくれてるんだ。
Now that's some cope. But it could work. That's right, Toko-san. It's a bad habit I got from being born in France.
いいわよ。じゃあ、一緒に磨こうか。
Yes, let's brush our teeth until they're extra sharp.
きやり。
Tongue to tongue in an instant? Ah! But I couldn't even scream.
大地。
Oh. Whisking. As I shook my head left and right, she bit deeply into our lips. Karmic retribution. Those two words rushed around my brain, and at the end, her saliva flowed into my mouth. I passed out.
あれ太一ちょっと太一ってばでも驚いた太一が私のキスで気絶しちゃうなんて
Is that what happened? Toko was in an abnormally good mood.
太一って感じやすいんじゃない
Humiliation.
かなり M っぽかったりして
Shut up, you full-auto machine.
何それ
It's nothing. なんでもない。Oh, kucho. I came myself, I was surprised. It looks...
できてる
The antenna, the wiring, even a tent and the live broadcasting seat had been prepared. Senpai did this all by herself? But Senpai wasn't there. Toko, while you were indulging in sex, Senpai was continuing a healthy and forward-looking club.
どうして私だけ悪者に
Still, this really is a surprise. Wait, did I accidentally... There's no replay function. Yeah, this is an older VM. I can see her. Maybe she's taking a break since it's Saturday. But was it the pilot broadcast for the Gunjo Community FM channel planned for tomorrow? Then, Toko signaled towards something far away from her hand. What? We approached it.
これ
Ah,
すや
he's sleeping. She's been doing this all by herself. Because of that, Senpai seemed a little worse for wear. Her glasses were crooked. Her uniform was coming apart. I moved my nose closer and confirmed the smell. There's a slightly bittersweet, sweaty smell.
やめなさい
She sounded serious. Oh, I felt like I was about to have a concussion.
女の子のいろいろな匂いに興味持ったらダメよ
The phrase many smells of a girl is unacceptable to begin with. Question. I raised my hand.
はい太一
Toko, you never farted in front of me. So where do you do it? And how conscious are you of this evasion?
おならって何かしら
She said it. You've gotten stronger.
変なことを言うのね
Oh, Toko's letting sexual harassment flow over her. I move. We laughed invisibly, like a pair of rivals. Ah, she's awake. So, a weird confrontation in the sky above can wake her up. Hello, senpai. I'm Taichi.
ペケ君
It's me, your one and only Taichi. Don't worry about Toko's amazingly angry stare. If you tell me to suck something, I shall suck it. Now, go ahead and order me to suck.
太一
Oh! The iron claw on the back of my head really hurts, but I can endure.
あのどうしてここに
Yes, we came to see Senpai's beautiful sleeping face.
覚えてなさいよ
Totally ignoring Toko right now. Toko whispered behind me. But that's just a joke. We came to see how things were going.
様子を
It looks like most of it's ready.
ええ宮澄先輩お一人でこれをええだって
Senpai swallowed the rest of those words. For a while, indecision itself was stuck to her cheeks, which is why I knew how she wanted to say
だっ
it.
て私の仕事でしたから
Your job. That means it's also my job. I took her hand and kissed the back of it.
あの
Huh? Hey, we don't want the Harakiri blade here. There's a storm.
どうして突然
It's because that's Blade's several hundred-year history of sucking people's blood, which built up calamitous deep-seated grudge.
オムニスノムニス
You'll note, this is a spell used by the main character in Osamu Tezuka's Mitsume ga Tooru, or the Three-Eyed One. She's chanting some kind of unlucky spell, she is. Kozaru. Yamesa, stop! Stop!
我と共に滅ぶべし
No more double suicides! Okay, calm down. Aren't we too close for that?
そうね
So, she didn't understand.
私がいてもお構いなしに女を口説けると思ってしまうくらいの仲よね
Ah!
大丈夫安心して
He smiled.
この刀はとてもよく切れるからあなたの煩悩だけを切ってくれるはずよ
That's only possible in Kikuchi something novel. Kikuchi Hideyuki is a light novelist most famous for the Vampire Hunter D series. I should really watch that or something.
スケコマシ種馬エロガッパ変態式は公職式状況
All these erotic sins are mine.
メガネメガネ
While I was being hit by a dazzling crisis of life and death, Senpai was focusing on her glasses. Videotape the whole thing. But I'll die. My desire to tape and my life preservation instincts fought one another. I want to tape it. My taping desire won. But what do I do with that? I can't die here. I held Toko's shoulders. A desperate measure. No, a lustful measure. Toko, I love. A super deep kiss. More like mouth sex. David! But now I must focus on my tongue. Kissing in glasses. Continuation, kisses and glasses. Continuation of continuation. Kisses and glasses. Oh, okay, that explains how she works at night. Again and again, kissing and glasses. Did she come? Toko fell limb in my arms.
あった装着です
The revival of Mimimi Senpai.
桐原さんどうしました
She seems to have a cold.
顔赤いですねそれに汗もかいてますし大変体がピクピク震えてます
This is an act. It's action reaction.
不使用反応それは重篤な病気なのではありませぬか
That's nothing to worry about. Well, it would be nice if we could find some dark matter.
早く長谷倉さんに見てもらっては
You're right. I'll bring her home with me. I picked her on my back.
大
I can't stand the hot breath against my ears. Returning home would be the end. I predicted a non-stop fever. Before I went downstairs, I turned around. Senpai was still standing right there. Huh?
はい
Is it okay if I participate in the club tomorrow? Senpai's eyes magnified slightly. I'll bring this with me. I pointed to Toko with my jaw.
はいどうぞ
Then we'll be there. I passed the threshold.
あの
She called me back. She seemed to return her senses when I said that, and her face turned desperate.
どうぞどうぞ
She said it again, in a loud voice, and I answered her. You okay? When I returned,
大地
she challenged me at the front door. Hi. She removed my clothes impatiently and kissed me. Then we connected. At the 3 rounds, Toko lost consciousness. She didn't wake up until later that night. I prepared the rice cooker in the garden. I wanted to eat rice. I couldn't use that electric one, so I cooked it in the mess tin. This is the best way to cook delicious meals. Believe in yourself. Weigh the rice. Each and every grain of rice contains a precious life. With those innumerable lives, people can keep living. But every life will eventually return to the earth. The earth is life, and just as life is the earth. In order to someday bring about new life. Long sci-fi novel Gaia's Journey. The end. Polish rice and wash it for 20 minutes. That is so long just to wash the rice. The summertime makes me want to eat some incredibly spicy curry. Kare. Cook. Stare long and hard at the fire, letting dangerous thoughts soak into your body and remembering comrades in arms who gave their lives to protect you. 2 choices. Once cooked, steamed upside down for 10 minutes. Super delicious rice is born. Thanks.
大地よかったそこにいたんだ
Coco came over to me. Her face seemed uneasy. The corners of her eyes were red for some reason. Yo, so you were awake? She nodded meekly. She came closer and wrapped her arms around my neck from behind.
ね
She whispered in my ear. I turned my head and kissed her. Right away, I pulled my tongue closer.
えダメ
She pulled her lips away.
こういう時はツイバムみたいのでいいの
Hmm?
じゃあやり直しフレンチキス
French kiss.
そうよ
Ja. Full power from the start. A threesome between lips and tongue. Then I pulled my tongue out. I was sexually excited. Wanna do it?
そんな元気ないわよ
Her slight slurring was suspicious.
下着変えたのに
That made you wet?
フレンチって言ったのに
But that is a French kiss.
そうなの
That's right. Tongues twisting around each other, devouring victoriously, and crawling obscenely as if their tongues were genitalia. That's a French kiss. He's exaggerating. That's why French toast and the like are such vulgar. What? It's over for French fries.
やだ
despite being made in Belgium, the French side of Belgium. She's a shame.
キャビア乗っけて
Forget about the caviar.
軽いキスはなんていうの
A soft kiss, maybe?
じゃあそれ
Okay. I touched my lips against hers, without overdoing it. The atmosphere became bittersweet, because men connect this mood directly to lust. It's important to know when to quit.
いい匂い
Are you hungry?
うん
Nakasuita. Oh shit. Her asking me that kind of also made me hungry for a second there. She was just a little embarrassed. I felt an amount of shame was okay. Then let's eat.
すごいご飯だ
At the very least, it's better than the electric cooker. Sabun. The latest electric cookers are amazing though. The side dishes are instant kare and canned food.
いいよ
We ate together. You got a cat's tongue, a Japanese idiom referring to an easily burned tongue.
ヘロ弱いの
Sure is. In a lot of ways. Toko blushed quickly. Strangely, she had no spoken response. As long as you had that weak point, kissing will keep ruining your underwear.
うう
She resented that while holding her spoon in her mouth.
おいしい
Selfish instant, catty.
だから好きな人と食べると美味しいのよどんなものでも
Honto?
ずっとこうだったらいいのに
The night silently reached its peak. Truly, without any sign of another human being. And then, Sunday. Daru. All the preparations had been made, but it wasn't meant to be. The antenna had been destroyed. Okay, so same as last time. Oh, her brother destroyed it again. For a moment I doubted my own eyes. Something that Senpai I worked so hard to construct. In an instant a part of my thoughts soon withdrew away from my emotions, so that my thoughts could remain calm. Who did this? There are only 8 people in the world. There are only 8 people, and yet... Senpai! She was at the base of the destroyed spire. Senpai! She turned around. Her behavior was poignantly nervous. My hand, which should have touched her shoulder, caught through empty air.
ベケ君
She said, as if to push me away. My heart screeched, because I caught a glimpse of her true will hidden in that intonation.
太一どうしたんだこれ
The two of them would ride together. I had no idea. Only 3 pairs of eyes turned to Senpai.
私なわけないじゃないですか
Okay, same lines as last time. She answered with a shaky
自
voice.
分で作って自分で壊す人がいるわけないでしょ
Well, there were such people. When humanity was alive. Chotto. Senpai herself destroyed it? Is that a possibility?
姉貴自分で壊したんじゃないのか
Bro is gaslighting. Bro is gaslighting so hard, man. Bro is gaslighting, considering he's the guy who destroyed it.
完成したら逃避先がなくなるから
This gaslit shit, man. He's inserting thoughts in her mind.
また自分でゼロに戻すために
Yes. That's also a possibility. Especially since Senpai is from Gunjo.
逃げるために逃げ道を作ったんだ
ちょっと待っていくらなんでもそんな
The iron door opened. Our conversation stopped. Oh, man. Kitty's still gonna have the crossbow, doesn't she? Won't she? Oh, no, Toko. Okay, Toko. Oh, it's almost similar like last time. Toko still appears around the same time. It was Toko.
サンバか
Wait. She still remarked like that? I don't know why she remarked like that, despite being in love with Taichi this time around. She must have found our neutral reactions odd, because she came towards us. Why are you here?
長谷倉先輩が話あるって呼ぶみを
Okay. Okay, so this is still nothing different from like last time. So this is weird because I'd expect her to be like with Taichi this time around, considering they came from the same house. It's a difference because of the what happened, what the difference between what happened in this route compared to the last time. She looked at the destroyed antenna.
壊れたの
It was broken by someone.
壊されたって誰が
決まってる。ここにいる誰かにだよ。
Toko's eyebrows narrowed.
それって
It's not that delightful a subject.
そうですよ愉快なわけない
Will you
自
kite?
分で壊すなんてありえない絶対違います
She muttered. This antenna used to be for the broadcasting club's activities, but we were planning on using it to send a rescue signal.
えそうなの
You can tell that this scene was kind of copy pasted from the previous. Like they didn't change a thing, considering I'd expect Toko to react differently this time because this is her route. Isn't that true, senpai?
そうです
Senpai hesitated slightly when the conversations only turned in her
そう
direction.
いう意図もありました
That was meant to be Senpai's club. It wasn't necessarily for running away. We had a specific goal in mind. That's why I don't suspect Senpai at all.
ケ君
Don't take it too seriously.
ちょっと何どさくさに紛れて耳触ってるのよ
Why is she reacting like this? I mean, I totally understand why she'd react like this in the first route. But in the second route, she should be reacting differently. Now calms her down.
そういうのは恋人同士でやることでしょ
Okay, this is something Okay, this is fine in this route because she's more jealous this time around. I shrugged my shoulders. Senpai and I are true soulful lovers, as it were. No one laughed, and no one retorted. Lame. I looked over at Toko. Toko, help.
何ウインクなんかしてどうしたのど
She's so dense. Never mind.
うして怒られないといけないわけ
Okay, let's quit searching for the culprit. Let's get everyone hustling to return this thing so we can have a human drama while sending our SOS.
無理です
Why?
必要な機材が燃やされています修理はできません
They were burned? She pointed to the materials at her feet.
ガソリンっぽい匂いがしますかけて燃やしたんです
I had nothing to say. The guy was that Doro. Well, then there's no real point in chasing after the culprit.
私は犯人が誰か知りたいですね
Eh?
少なくとも私じゃないだとすればあなたたちの誰かじゃないですか
Her words resemble bullets. Release one and you can't take it back. Either misses or wounds. But Misato Senpai's words brought understanding.
あなたたちの誰かが裏切った
Those glasses of Senpai were supposed to be gentle. Although, she did get mad. I never thought she'd accuse someone.
人を裏切り者呼ばわりしてさ。
Tomoki suddenly screamed.
あんたが裏切りとか言うってことは。
The moment Sakuraba moved, Tomoki fell. Did he hit him? Did Sakuraba hit Tomoki? Hey! I can't let them follow up on this development.
いてて。何するん。
どうして壊した？
Those words were aimed at Tomoki. Did you say he broke it?
どうして壊す必要があったんだ？
Sakuraba said seriously.
何言ってんだ。知らないよ。
俺は見た。お前がアンテナを壊す瞬間を見たんだ。
トモキあなた
You know what? I really want to skip because so far it's no different from the last time we did this. We saw this scene, so still the same. Okay. Okay, this is different because the auto stopped by itself. What happened? I can't understand. Just I was being traveled with by emotions I couldn't analyze. Oh, okay. So in the first route, the one who got shot was the one who got shot was Taichi. But this time around, I guess my understanding is that because we skipped. But I think this time around Toko jumped in, I guess. Countless static. I couldn't make it out. I moved. I just didn't feel like it. I felt like I should move away from the static. I touched the fence. I pushed, and the mesh wall was slowly eliminated. Sky. I'll go to the sky, I thought. Waving the sword. And once a huge burst of static energy reached my back. The world was enveloped in scarlet. Color. I could see the color called scarlet. Wind in my ears. I was flying, cutting through the wind. I'm not flying, I'm falling. And this isn't a story. This is falling for real. Special mood the innocent teenager. Life die appeal. Though I'm not exactly trying to appeal to anyone. Honestly. Why did it all come to this? I want to do it over. Really? Really? Am I about to crash yet? Damn it, someone was beside me. My light was flashing before my eyes. While sprouting that sort of appropriate and cool young adult speech, I slowly closed my eyes, displaying my manliness in order to appeal to the other side of the screen, and it worked. It was nothing. Nami Takaji just fell, jumped off. It was nothing. Nami Takaji just jumped off. Shit. Yeah, you know what? For Toko's route, well, I like how he reacted differently because in the first route we saw what's her name killed everyone after Taichi got shot, right, and then what's her name just killed everyone. Then and this time around, since we kind of skipped things around, I'm guessing everything's still the same, and Kiri attempted to shoot a Taichi, but I guess Toko took the hit because the fast forward stopped. Because the fast forward stopped when we saw her CG with the arrow on her back, and then somehow that caused Taichi to commit suicide. So I guess he was affected by what happened with Toko. After all, for someone who was trying to just like he's supposedly like faking it, and he was starting to feel something, but like he decided to. Most of it, the idea in his head was like it was just making her stronger, so he could leave her as a stronger woman and all, but like it really affected him. Anyway, I wonder if this is still the same. Let's see. My oldest memory. Within far out mists, where even the date was vague. A luxurious private room embodying the dignity of nobles. Therein was a canopied bed and a European chair, but I preferred to sit on the floor, especially on these days. I could see the curtain of black starry night through my window. My eyes were drawn to the scattered twinkles cut off by the window frame. I saw my reflection in the glass separating the outside world from the room's interior. A privileged young woman. A graceful girl covered in a western dress. Okay, so far similar. Who on earth are you? Taichi. Silver hair. With a transparent, ambiguous outline. It hung down long, covering my hips. Its tips rippled loosely. Her face was small, just like a doll's. Those features aren't of this world. Who was it that said that? Was it the missus, or one of her older sisters? Her sweet voice was charming to my ears. The memories from before my 10th year was muddled in places, as if I were dreaming. Come over here now. Let's play. I never disobeyed. A girl's clothes, a girl's mannerisms, a girl's speech. When those who worked at the mansion or those refined or their refined owners played with dolls. I couldn't tell if it was a highbrow or childish, but despite being boring, it wasn't unpleasant. I thought that was close to the reason why the image of me reflected in the window is that of a girl. Yes, there is just one thing I remember clearly. Within the crowd of tenderly aged girls, there was one who didn't smile. She was the only one who didn't play with me. The girl's appearance I had for fulfilling the role of the tea-drinking partner was always adorned without reserve. She who strolled alone in the huge garden always sent her gaze my way in a scornful manner. With clear black eyes like obsidian, I trembled. When her eyes faced me, my heart was always in a panic. Delight or shame? Perhaps both. For me, who had little experience of being upset by something, emotions that raged out of control were a rare thing. Even so, in public, I calmly presented my smile before the ladies. I needed to bear my duty in mind. My duty to fulfill the role of a doll in order to live. During that doll period, I never conversed with her, not even once. The image of that girl standing aloof in the estranged place left a strong impression on me. I found out later, she was also a doll bought up with money. The air swirled and chilled. The open air of the cold hallway. I turned around to see the side of the door that had opened without a sound. She had been standing there. Oh, Wagasu. But what was this? The girl standing before me had been lightly tarnished. No, she had been defiled by nefarious means. Torn clothing, aberrations running across her white skin. A line of blackish blood at the corner of her lips. Stagger. My field of vision rippled. The doll period was humorous but fortunate, and she and I haven't lived together. My memory is in disorder. Yes, Sumari, her being here means. The boisterous Mrs. and noblewomen, rather young servants. Sweet days like sugar snacks passed through my memory in a fast forward. All the scenes were losing their color, decaying to a dull gray. The period when she opens the door comes to the room. That's not the doll period. Farther ahead. The period when we were both assigned to just one room. The stage fell from heaven to hell. At one point I realized the fixtures around us had gone. Not only gray walls remained. The bedstead was crude. The sheets were a bit dirty. The lighting was a bare bulb. The floor was finely split wood. The beautiful silk curtains fell to the rank of dust cloth. Painful, heavy, contemplative, a premature ball neck on life. Those circumstances tied together two people who had never even heard of the other speak.
Taichi.
My name. The missus and others took out one character from my manly name, replacing it with the one that was girlishness itself, then called me by that new name. Ichihime, written with the characters from one princess. It was elegant, but she never called me that. Do you want something to drink? She didn't even react to my question, closing the distance between us instead. And as if it were perfectly natural, she pushed me down on the bedside. Oh, okay. This is just a repeat, but let's continue this one. So close that I could touch her. Silence floated in the space between us. I felt like my breath would stop at any moment. A sweet smell. It was neither perfume nor soap. It was the smell of the girl's own body. Beneath the beastly smell that made me ready to vomit, it stood up to deny everything. Ooh. Her lips, like soft flower petals, gently pushed out words.
毎日つらい?
I thought for a bit and answered honestly. Hi.
痛い?
It hurts. 痛いよ.
誰も助けてはくれない?
No, there aren't any more kind people here.
違う。昔からいなかったの。
She changed completely, her speech now cold. But not with hatred or antagonism, just cold. But the old masters were...
あれらは弱いだけのものよ。狭い心に余裕があれば親切に見える時もある。けど、自分が苦しくなるとすぐに逃げ出す。大切なおもちゃだって置き去り。
She placed both hands on my shoulders and gripped firmly.
味方はいない。誰も助けない。自分のことを自分で守らないといけない。
That's right. It's sad, but It's the truth. We children become prey. There are unbelievably lack desires in the world. She and I knew that. Since we didn't have power, we had to protect ourselves with intellect. Because legally, they were our guardians. But what if those guardians were our assailants? We couldn't disobey. A huge mansion with huge grounds. Whatever happens, their conduct wouldn't lead to the outside. We were slaves. Dore. Her white hands held my cheeks. Her face approached. My chest pounded a little, but she caressed part of my cheek with a serious
タ
face.
バコの火を当てられたの？
A little bit. But I rubbed cream there beforehand. I had to protect myself with my own intellect.
謝る。
Huh?
助けてあげられなくて。
I was puzzled. That's okay, neither could... The rest of those words didn't come out. She, a girl, had met worse fates than I, a boy. She embraced me. What's wrong?
大地。大地。
Her voice was shaking. That's rare. She's always calm.
大地。
Her lips pressed against my ear. Her breath blew into it, unshaking. An electric stimulus climbed my spine. The area around my hips was extremely hot. That part was abruptly put under pressure. A hand. One hand was pushing it. It was pushing down hard on my hardened part. Unable to stay still, it twisted my body.
大地。私たちは弱い。
Sparkles in her black eyes. They made me cower, so I couldn't respond.
だから手を組まないといけない。
Hands?
一心同体に。
One mind and body.
そうすれば多少辛くても我慢できるから。私は大地。大地は私。
As her lips wore words, they silently descended. Surprise, confusion, and a hint of shame. Those mixed together making me forget to act.
大地。
Sweet slime flowed into my oral cavity. It melted the frozen meat. She removed her lips and took off her underwear. I swallowed. Her bare skin was the color of moonlight, denying evidence of guilt. Her noble fragility. Her four mysterious limbs were soaked in the crooked beams of silver light, like a living sculpture, all of which had been insulted by the innumerable fine wounds. And yet, I thought they were beautiful.
私は大地。大地は私。
The next words were carved bright and clear in my memory. A glimpse, a waver in her eyes, sparkling with brutality.
ごめんなさい。自分しか信用できないから。
Her slender fingers touched my chest. They made a ticklish sensation that crawled around, bearing the upper half of my body. Yoko-chan. Okay, there you go, Yoko-chan. How could I forget her name? Her name, Namae. I finally pushed out the words. Our caresses began. The light pink flower petals meandered lightly across my chest. With a sensation like that of being teased by feathers, my muscles shook sharply and uncontrollably. After her lips passed, there remained a soft trail of clear slime. Her head was going down. Not long after, she slipped into my skirt. Her fingers rolled my underwear down and lowered it to my ankles. I had no words. I covered my eyes with one arm. At a time like this, how should I react? What sound should I make? I don't know. But I feel hot. Okay, welcome back. I accidentally overskipped. Don't get me wrong, like, I watched the thing and I decided, well, we could skip the last set of things and okay, we're now in a new scene. Oh well. It's the same scene as last time, man. It's exactly the same. It's a good way to end start a new route. Anyway, so the skip ended here. Would it still be? Let me save first. Okay. So it's still good. I gathered together the faces of the broadcasting club, all on the verge of breakdown, and managed to bring them to a group campout. The labor was terrible. At the present time, the formal members of the broadcasting club are Hasekura Yoko, Miyasumi Misato, Korosu Taichi, Sakuraba Hiroshi, Shima Tomoki, Kirihara Toko, Yamanobe Miki, Sakura Kiri. Those 8 people. Those 8 people before the campout, their relationships had all been broken off. Firstly, Yoko-chan's not interested in other people and doesn't participate in club activities. Yeah, Yoko-chan's only interested with Taichi. So she's just hanging around because that's where Taichi is. Sakuraba always had wanderlust, so it's impossible for him to come to periodic club activities. Shima had some quarrel with Mimi-senpai and started a cold war. Toko's in a cold war with me. Though, based on the previous route, we know that Toko melts easily. She just wanted some... all she needed to do was strip away her, not just her clothes, strip away her, the image that she's trying to maintain. And she fell so... She melted so quickly, man. I don't know. I always felt like Toko actually liked Taichi, but she was so concerned about her position as an Ojo, as an actual Ojo. Miki used to be sociable, but she became separated from the club by hanging out with Kitty. Since Kitty hates me, and I was kind of skipping anyway. It seems Mimi-senpai had to deal with a lot of things by herself. I aroused myself and gathered everyone. With cold coercive means. I used tricks similar to those of last year's Seabat. If I pull them out at least once, I win. I dared to put together the animal summer camp out. I was a huge failure. We kept it secret from the teachers, but
姉貴のせいだろ。
不愉快です。やめようよ、喧嘩は。
Mate, it's not that I was deceiving you or was being deceived.
騙したんでしょ。だから嫌だったんです。みんなでなんて。
Trouble arose. Nothing was accomplished. Human relationships remain as they were. They were merely carved out more clearly. The campout ended in sorrow and pain. We spent a few days without even speaking. Oh man, that's so bad. If 2 of us met alone, we could still converse. But multiple strange relationships just piled on top of one another, creating the worst possible atmosphere. This time I asked Mimi-senpai for help. As a result, I lost even Senpai's trust. What did Senpai think of me? The 7 went home. I didn't want to see. The emancipated weird eyes avoiding one another, not interacting. Everyone's faces were like strangers to each other. That's why I took the lead. I walked quickly. Okay, this should be the same as last time now. I want to skip things we already read. Oh, okay. You still wanted us to read this. Okay, well, on the way, the sun began to sink. I had a feeling we'd been walking for a horribly long time, for several hours. Normally, this path didn't even take 1 hour. Was it because of fatigue? No one said anything. A world of only 7 sets of footsteps, an abnormally quiet mountain path. Even the sounds of insects didn't reach our ears. Even the air felt cold, even though it was summer. At that moment, it was as if the world had blurred. It felt as if I've seen the same scenery from a different angle. I stood still. Should I keep going or not? But I continued. Senpai's voice began to chase me from behind. This is new. But I continued. I was running away, facing forward. If I had taken another look back, then, or perhaps if I hadn't stopped, I wonder, could we have gone down that path without hearing? Okay. Been a while since I opened the walkthrough, although this is like already different. So after Misato Senpai and Toko's route, I kind of feel bad that Toko's route ended just like that. You know, it felt like you didn't see the obvious changes in the route because Toko was now should be reacting differently because of Taichi. But I felt like the only difference between how it ended from the first route was like they added instead of Taichi being hit by the arrow, Toko's. I don't know. I didn't read what's in between, but that's the impression I got. She sacrificed herself to take the shot for him. At least that's how I interpret it. I don't know. So the next route we are in is in Kiri's route. Okay, the one who brings the crossbow. This is going to be some fun times. This is going to be some fun times. Monday. Okay, so I know this is a new because I don't remember him talking about Monday. 7 in the morning. Time to wake up. But you don't have to get up, my boy. Mother Earth's gentle voice rang out. Because that way I can eat you. That's not an old woman. That's a wolf. And so I should sleep. Happiness. I don't know anything about humanity or whatever being annihilated. But in this moment right now, my sense of happiness is so limitless. It approaches God.
太一
Oh, Yoko's here.
太一起きて起きないとエッチなことをすると思うそう
Man, she just kept on sucking, man. Ah! Explosive ass fashion in the lower half of my body. She just kept sucking there, man. I was guided to it in an instant. Huh? Did I have a wet dream? I felt like there was some amazing stimulus. There's someone inside my futon. A second explosion of pleasure. I curl up like a shrimp. Yamete! I threw up with the futon. Yoko-chan was there. Ah! I kicked. She took it and rolled on her back. I pulled up my panties and pajamas. My panties and pajamas? Maybe he still has that thing from the past, you know. He's still. I don't know. Maybe it's just an expression. He might not be literally wearing a panty right now. Though I'm not surprised considering his past. What were you doing?
フェラチオ
Didn't I tell you not to do this sort of thing?
性行為はしないって言ったけどフェラチオは含まれていなかったもの
Fellatio are normally considered
ル
sexual.
ールを後付けするのは卑怯だと思う
You're calling me unfair? Damn it, my sperm got taken out. Damn dream demon. I can't be let to sleep peacefully. What did you come here for?
お弁当
She held out a paper bag. Do people give fellatio at your house when they deliver bentos?
なぜか2人分
Listen. No. Never mind. There's no point in asserting common sense in the person who has none. I was tired. Vitality had been stolen.
報告が
What? I changed my clothes. These panties have semen all over them. Okay, so he literally does. He is literally wearing panties. I threw them off. I wasn't particularly embarrassed to be seen naked by her. I mean, considering the things they've been through. I mean, her oldest memories being. I don't know, man. Was that rape? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's very complicated. What? I don't know. Man. You know what? They're still hanging around. So actually, I didn't care at all.
拭いてあげる
Huh? No, that's okay. I can do it. Yoko-chan's hand was gripping a lotion bottle. Oh, so the hand this time around. Don't you come with a 2-meter radius of me. Her legs froze in place. You were trying to massage my prostate, weren't you?
いいえ
Is that payback for all the harassing I do?
いいえ
Then why would you do such a thing?
好きだから
That's a lie. Well, it took a pose of that of a naked adult male on one of the plates showing the history of humanity on the certain artificial satellite. I denied her words. Did you not try to enslave me with a prostate massage?
いいえ
Damn female leopard. You won't admit your sins. I don't care anymore. I searched for new panties. So he really is wearing panties. I guess this is, you could say, a byproduct of his past, or I can't even tell if this is him being just straight up being a perverted person or something. But I feel like him wearing panties is more related to his past and his perversion and all that sort of thing. Well, he might actually be perverted, but like I feel like he embraced hypersexuality as like a fucking, well, two things going in my mind is that one, his oldest memory was about uh his past when he was somehow dressed by, he somehow was forced to act like a woman and then having sex with Yoko for the first time. And then I felt like since they were from like some sort of situation where they never developed normally, so he tried. This is my interpretation. I don't know if this is actually correct. I'll find out as we go along. But I felt like him being like perverted. That the first thing I said, and then second, I think it's because um he's trying to act like a quote unquote average normal boy, but like, the impression I've been given, like, sexual acts isn't like not that special to him, and giving the impression considering how he was with Toko. But I don't know, the ending of Toko's route uh, might be, I don't know, it's different because no, the sexual acts are probably so different for Taichi. He really doesn't associate it with like some sort of feelings, or it's purely like an act of pleasure and lust or whatever the fuck. Anyway, let's go. Let's continue.
はい。
I took them. I was alarmed, but I put them on anyway. Huh? That was a metal pair of underwear. There was a clicking sound as if it was being locked behind me. I turned around to find the Yoko-chan had been doing something while crouched. What have you?
鍵、
Why?
鍵をしないと外れてしまうから。
I was asking why there's a lock on these panties.
低層体だから。
Chastity belt? Ha! I can't take it off?
鍵がないと脱げない。
The Kagi! I began to attack her.
ごっくん。
She put it on her tongue and swallowed. Ah! Why? How?
先週の太一はエッチだった。ダメ。
I did nothing but masturbate last week.
その先週じゃない。
Oh. Are you telling me Yoko was aware of the quote unquote routes? Or let's say week. The span of like one route is a week, so she was aware. Is she aware of the stuff that happened last week? I mean, in Toko's route?
とにかく、目に余る所業。断固阻止。
I don't get this. Besides, you swallowed the Kagi.
もう外れない。
I'll give you an enema, you bitch.
いいけど、今しても無駄だと思う。それでいいならどうぞ。
She got in me. This person can probably cover it up back up on her own. Like a man who can swallow and cough up a goldfish without killing it. I was trapped. I was trapped too well. I was trapped by her.
落ち着いて。私の太一。低層体をつけたのには理由があるの。
You say there's a reason good enough to place a chastity belt on the comrade you share your joys and sorrows with?
今朝、少し調べてみたのだけれど、
The dream demon spoke on as if nothing had happened.
発電所に行けなくなっていたの。
The reason you gave me the chastity belt?
それと、祠の情報で大体把握できた。
There's a reason you gave me the chastity belt? Yoko-chan searched through my belongings. I don't get
大
this.
地これを
I was handed a bundle of brand new notebooks. The information you just presented and these items don't seem to connect to each other in the slightest. There's a limit to how lacking an explanation can be.
それといろいろ変だからもう少し本格的に調査してみたいで見守っていない間太一が変なことしないように低層体を
Ah. So that's what it was.
昼は戻ってくるから
So that's why the bento is double portion. Yoko-chan seems somehow active. Did something happen? I haven't done anything in particular to stimulate her. She pushed her lips onto my cheek and then left the room. I began walking to school like a robot. The incongruity in my crotch. The chatting hurts. I'll become bow-legged. If only I had the charm that makes bow legs look good. Should I go back with bankara? Bankara. Barbaric color. This look analogous to the word Western gangster. It was created to contrast with haikara. All I could do now is stomp my feet and keep the team banner from falling to the ground. TL continued. Haikara, high color. Look is meant to imitate upbeat Westerners. That's still a confusing explanation. You know what? I'm not going to think about it. As I walk up the hill, the sound of tires scraping against the ground. A sign of danger. Too easy. His body was baptized with Valacho this morning. My whole body has become sensitive from having just come. That is to say, my ability to sense danger has become sharper. Ha! No matter what sort of attack occurs, if one can predict it in advance, it's easy to evade. If only the chastity belt wasn't interfering with my walking. I was thrown into the grove of trees while she appealed to me with a side view of her chest. The chastity belt protecting me.
Huh?
Sarcasm regarding something in my head. Don't worry about it. I came out of the trees and wiped off the dirt. Walking bow-legged, of course.
ガニ
Don't call it that. Damn, this girl whose mouth runs off so reflexively
ー今週も元気そうだ
this week. What you speak fails to convey meaning, but I shall make you convey it. Tomi is a manga about an immortal girl whose supernatural powers can, and inevitably so, cause anyone around her to fall in love with her and commit violence as a result.
7日だよ太一
Tonikaku. Why does a person that's perfectly unknown to me knows my name?
気にするな
I will worry. She seemed to have good motor skills. Even though I'm walking at a slow speed, she's matching my pace without faltering. She came across as a lively, energetic childhood friend type pretty girl who'd come and wake me up every morning. So, what's your business here as a person who feels non-existent?
え存在感がない
None. Faint. Sketchy.
よくわからないけど気配みたいなもの
Yes, the presence I feel from you makes it clear to my cranial deliberation committee that you are not human.
そんなことまで鋭すぎるよ太一
Here was an effect of the morning palacho that I couldn't have thought of. By combining the sensation abilities with my meta reasoning, I can even extract your true identity.
本当
You are a girl of Scorpius. Sumari, I think that you are a sentient life form living on star V861 in the Scorpius constellation.
ブラックホールじゃんそこ適当だよねかなり
Well, that's my job.
毎回大変だ
I don't understand every time or this week. Isn't this our first meeting?
何度もぶつかってるよ
No, you haven't. It's not in my memory. I have no memory loss.
まあそれはいいんだけどさしかし一回くらい恋が芽生えても
You said something amazing. Huh? Are you saying you have a thing for me? Me with the hooked nose?
どこがわし花なの普通に見えるけど
It's crooked. Can't you see that?
全然
That's strange.
ちょっと曲がってるかもしれないけど 気にするほどじゃないと思うよ。
Frankly, so it was true. It was crooked. The way my nose bends has bugged me for a long time. I became subconscious with maturity around the same time I began to hate myself.
なんだなんだ。
I wonder if that's true. Various malice and ill wills for my surroundings. Did I become conscious of such things and desire to rationalize them with my looks? I've read such theories before. Well, looks don't matter. Doesn't change the inclination to make main characters' stories look pretty in the pictures, even if they're described as mediocre in the text.
まあまあ、毒はその辺にしといてさ。
Nanaka made the face of a secretary who handed down the political decision. So, just how are you related to this humanity annihilation syndrome?
無関係。
That has to be a lie. Absolutely. 絶対に?
本当だよ。人類は勝手に滅びました。理由はわかりません。
Well, I quietly gazed at the girl. You know?
見てた。
You saw?
うん、見てた。世界はね、ゆっくりと滅びていったんだよ。
Slowly? How slow is slowly?
さあね、時間感覚なくなっちゃって。
It's weird. After all, wasn't it normal before we went on the campout? The campout was 3 days and 2 nights. Were they all annihilated in 3 days?
う
Nanaka shook her head.
ん、もっとだよ。
But that's strange. It doesn't match logic.
物の見方の問題だと思うよ。
I don't know what you meant.
まあ、過ぎたことをくどくど考えても仕方ないよ。
That's true, but humanity really disappeared that easily.
どっかで何か起こったって私は思ってる。なんとなく肌の感覚でね。
Somewhere.
言葉じゃうまく説明できないんだけど、どこかで大きな波があって、それがバーって広がったんだと思う。私の知覚力じゃそれが限度。
Are you a kami-sama? She made a re-smile.
違う違う、そんな偉くないって。何もわからないんだよ。
Then why are you here in front of me?
それはちょっと言えない。言う資格がないから。ごめんね。
That's right. I know that sensation well. Just as I don't have the right to live and hang out normally with my friends. That's why I was sent here to Gunjo. Because I'm something that can hurt people. Because I'm dangerous. I don't have the right to make friends. And that's correct. Oppressively so. Then I won't pry.
悪いね。
Forget it. Still, I don't understand
あ
anything.
の子が頑張れば謎そのものは解けると思う。
That girl? Do you mean Yoko-chan?
好きにはなれないけどね。
She narrowed her lips. So you hate her?
そうじゃないけど、なんとなく気に食わない。掃除させた後で窓枠を指で撫でて不備を指摘してやる。
You're thinking like a mother-in-law.
姑か。悪くないよね。
The maker. What does that mean?
大地、
I heard her voice from quite far behind. An impossible distance. Nanaka had been next to me until 3 seconds ago. 20 meters, not a distance one can traverse in an instant.
これが一番効果的みたいだからさ。
Wait, you... I knew it. She's not
ほ
human.
こら、知ってるね。
The Hokora.
それと、祠の情報で大体把握できた。
It's related.
知りたいのなら、あっち。
A white fingertip shot out, pointing to me. No, there's something behind me. Gakko. Yeah. Yama? There was a mountain path that we used during the campout. There are lots of animals on that path, but it reaches the summit quickly. And at the end of it, there's a hokora. I don't know what's enshrined there. A small old decayed hokora. A place that might be dedicated to an unworshipped god. No one goes near it anymore. There's something there. I turned my gaze to Nanaka in order to ask her a trivial question. She disappeared, along with her bike. The cicadas weren't chirping, a quite new term. All right. I'm gonna end on the next scene, so we're just gonna go through one scene, and I'm gonna end today's upload. I don't know. Here this time around we try going to the Hokora. The Hokora. I twisted away from the will of mine that said go to school anyway. I could do that fairly well, can't I? I think people have countless possibilities, but for the most part, they're just controlled by their individuality. People will generally make the same choices, but when you repeat the same situation hundreds of times, wouldn't probability demand that you do something extravagant? That's what I thought. I was trying to do something extravagant. I passed through here yesterday, alongside despair, and now was climbing the mountain once again, to go to the Hokora. I had no real objective. You could say going to the Hokora was the objective. That girl, she said she was Nanaka? The reason why she pointed me this way, I had a feeling I could find it. It had been a while since people had passed through here. The path to the shrine was covered in undergrowth, and I couldn't find it, and continued on relying on intuition. Not long after, there it is. I said out loud. All noise vanished from the world, along with the presence of various living things, just humans. But the area around the Hokora was silent. A solemn atmosphere. Even the air temperature felt lower. The stress from the solitude made my throat dry. I got the feeling I shouldn't make any noise. I approached the Hokora. There was clearly something strange about it. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the place was strange. Something deeper than rationality told me that. Even if it was strange, it didn't seem dangerous. I started observing the Hokora. I stared, observing the Hokora. It was a small Shinto shrine set atop a high platform. It had a pair of double doors. It was sealed with shimenawa. Shimenawa are lengths of rice straw rope used for ritual purification and warding against evil in the Shinto religion. They're commonly seen as shrines, gates, and other landmarks. I had to see what's inside. There was a possibility that some strange monster was sealed away in there. Well, I'm not so sure about that. Now, that is common knowledge that the 21st century had rejected the next century by annihilating humanity. I felt without any basis that the Hokora couldn't be that plain. I put my fingers on the doors and opened them. I was surprised. In the dim, undecorated space, there was no monsters or bottles or daggers or crystal balls. Just a pile of notebooks. 6 of them. Without discrepancy, they were student notebooks. It seemed like a total mismatch, and it took me by surprise. Not bad. I don't know who done it though. I took out a notebook. The covers were featureless, but they did have numbers written on them on the magic marker. Volume numbers. I tried opening the notebook titled 1. Monday. I went to school, but I cut class. Toko was especially harsh today. Must be biological, but I can't strike at her just because of her biology. Instead, I'll do horrible things to her in this diary. Oh, this is his own diary. Okay, so the notebook is his own diary. Okay. No, stop! Even if you claim to hate it, your body is perfectly honest, paraphrase. Impossible. No man can pull back. After coming this far, my rival of pride has no choice but to lock onto a target such as yourself. Yeah! My body! Not my body! In time, you will come to desire this yourself. No, have mercy. You think I'll listen to such pleas? Doria! You beast! Here I raised up the vase, holding its red rose. At last the flower stalk snapped and fell silently. The screen blurs white out. I walked down the hallway. Miki was doing some cleaning. My hand shot like lightning, aimed at Miki's butt, yet I merely grazed her, falling to grasp her body. Until now, Miki's always been shrugged. It's easy to touch. This is a grave situation, Mr. Principal. But seeing my pupil become more skilled does make me happy. The day of she'll surpass her master draws near. I went to the club for the first time in a while. Mimi Senpai was quite fluffy. Today I reached a milestone. I'm greatly moved. A lot of other stuff happened too, but overall it was a good day. This is my Nikki. I've lit through the following pages: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Without any doubt, it's a Nikki. But that's strange. The next page, Tuesday. Objectify your emotions. Who was the one who stuck her in the bread in the first place? The question has always turned me. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. We read this so many times. The same way Taichi mistakenly thought that turtlenecks were turtlenecks because they totally cover his neck. But going belly and forth in search of an answer will only leave me with a hollow feeling at the end of the day. Baudelaire once said, God is dead. It may be easy to doubt the existence of God, but for those who never gave his existence a second thought and believe life is a strange, straight line laid out for them every day, they'll suddenly profit porks in their paths. For example, the time to roll out hairless conversation with abstained women. For example, the time I met with a good friend of mine and an estranged friend of mine at the same moment. And the time those two rebuilt a friendly relationship between themselves. Regarding either when, okay, we read this before. I'm just gonna skip through this. But anyway, I'm gonna skip through this, but as you can see, it's like, yeah, it's his own diary, but I wonder if each volume represents each week. Like, okay, let's move. Okay, here we go. Let's read this. The senpai of my life whom I met on the roof, with her maternal open-mindedness and loving affection. No matter how much I wrote about Misato Jo, the bling would never end. First, there are her indescribable thighs, which were, and in my hands there remained the bra which was once attached to her body. When I breathed through it, though it had already lost its body heat, the girl's faint smell took me away to yet another strong delusion. That's unmistakably my norm. But isn't it strange? I should remember what I wrote in my own Nikki. I definitely wrote it in from time to time. That's not it. It's not in my memory at all. What's written in here are occurrences entirely outside of my memory. By the way, it's not amnesia. In fact, I'm the type to remember needless details. I'm a memory hunter that would definitely never forget something like making marriage vows with a childhood friend, or being given a truth serum by an enemy and crippled on the way to my dream job. Well, the strength of my memory is good. Speaking of things outside my memory, there is the scene of my own birth. The now annihilated Americans would find delight in that. Now then, I'll continue reading. Wednesday. Next. Thursday. And then Friday. Today we went to the beach. The beach we all went to last year. This year it was pretty lonely. It may have been awkward, but last year I believe we could touch and learn from each other. It made me remember so many fun times. Just 1 year had passed since then, and we're all estranged now. We lost all mutual concern because so many things happened. But that's not the only reason. There was a problem in our hearts, and now we're the only ones in the world. What's with this ironic composition? The night Misato Senpai came to check up on me. For no real reason, I remember the words of Nanaka girl, that Nanaka girl, and went to see the Hokora. I can get more done at night. My body's weird. There were many questions, but despite my thoughts wouldn't stop, despite Nanaka's enigmatic suggestion, I sensed no abnormality from the Hokora. There was just one piece of paper in there, a note from Yoko-chan. The paper was new. Save all your records in here. As is always the case with her, there was no explanation for the reason. Because she is mostly complete as a human, but she doesn't need to communicate her intent to other people. As a result, she tends to remove excess words tactically and with poor speaking skills. Often she removes too much and doesn't make any sense. But there is no mistaking what she says. I should do just that. I returned to my house and brought my Nikki here. That's why this will be my last Nikki entry. The first notebook ended there. In the second, the contents were nearly the same. Casual day starting on Monday. On Saturday to the third, fourth, and the fifth. They're all repeated. The content did differ in places. For instance, the timing of when I met with the flowers, or my correspondence with Toko and Yuni Senpai. But overall, it looked like exactly the same week was being traced out repeatedly. Almost as if I repeated the same period of time several times over. Thinking calmly, there are a few possibilities these diaries could be showing. 1. I had another personality that wrote them. 2. The stuff I write in the future shows up here. 3. I was repeating the same period of time over and over. The first isn't true, I can guarantee that. Even if you give a monkey a typewriter, it wouldn't coincidentally write up a copy of Shakespeare. unless you give it like infinite time, and each monkey there's like a billion monkeys. I believe in that. That there's a. It is possible, as long. It is very possible, but the probability is so small. Very, 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 very small. Thinking realistic, number 2 couldn't be it either. 3. At the very least, there's the possibility that these 5 diaries were showing me. The memo mentioned earlier was inserted inside the first notebook. A very old memo. It looked like it had been written years ago. All my records, huh? Well, she means Nikki's. Now, why would I have to do that? The diaries all basically stopped recording after Friday, though the 4th made an exception by continuing on to Saturday. Yeah, come to think of it, why? Yeah, most of the we only been through 2 weeks, and Saturday something happens, and then Sunday is the day when they go see the antenna be destroyed. Anyway. So something happens after Saturday, so that in the and I'm being forced to redo everything from the beginning. Was there a start point Monday? It could also be Sunday. Since on Sunday I was feeling bad and didn't write in my diary. Most likely I was taking the same actions in many possibilities. No. Shotomate. The world is repeating itself? That's extraordinary. But right now, I should avoid jumping to conclusions. A conclusion is reminiscent from the terminal point. It's no more than the process of reaching a decision after some process. Here, there's a high probability that that the world itself is looping the same week ad infinitum. And I'll stop thinking right there. There seems to be rules to this loop, which include the erasure of the subjective memory. After the diaries got out, the world should have rolled back at least 5 times. At the same time, my memory was also being completely rolled back. This produced a decision. There are no deficits or obscurities within my memory. Since Yoko-chan is Konoichi, there's no surprise that she realized this truth so quickly, then left a memo for me. For some reason, that means Yoko-chan also loses her memory along with the rollback. I could extend this to say that all the others were the same. Mimi-senpai, Toko, Miki, Kiri, Sakuraba, and Tomoki. That's right. I've come to understand the trouble of our present situation. My memory was being reset. Sumari. Even the memory of arriving at the true state of affairs this way is reset by the end of the week. Next week, literally, I'll be back to living true Monday without any doubts. I arrived at the truth again only because of being coincidentally guided to this Hokora. In such a situation, I have to furiously shoot a gun repeatedly and unskillfully. I was quite unnerved. There's one other rule as well, which is that this Hokora somehow avoids being affected by the loop. As long as I'm in this place, subjective time is preserved. Yoko-chan, how did you find this out? I could understand it if the notebooks were there, but with nothing in there, how could one see through the peculiarities of this Hokora? I didn't think it could be discovered with the abilities of an average person. Unless Nanaka was talking to Yoko-chan. I mean, Nanaka did mention she met up with she somehow knows her, but I don't know they actually spoke. But Nanaka's like Nanaka's the way they think about these things. Did I read this? I didn't think it could be discovered with the abilities of the average person. Then again, she's nothing like a normal person. Yoko-chan, maybe she could. It did seem like she was investigating a lot right now. Still, while entering the Hokora, I thought, crap. Without folding up my arms and legs like a shape-changing robot, I couldn't win the invasion. Who or what is that Nanaka girl anyway? I have virtually nothing to go on. She seems cheerful, wears a different uniform, rides a bicycle, and have long legs, tight hunches, a bust far beyond the average value of her tight clothing. Unacceptable. My volume increase. If I increase this much, won't I become unable to enter the Hokora? Or so I thought, but I managed to slide right in. I got in, but I couldn't move my body around much. I was enveloped with a sensation of becoming a rectangular parallelepiped. I tried closing the door. Perfect. What's perfect? There isn't any meaning to this whatsoever. I soon came back out. I guess I'll go to school. I'll take my time thinking. First year classroom. Was Kitty coming to school? Ah, very interesting. He was thinking about Kitty. It wasn't mentioned in the records I saw for Monday. The fourth? Okay, I know it until the scene ends, but I still consider this part of the scene. Yeah, okay, let's continue for a bit. The fourth floor, the first year classroom. Kitty was there. She was staring at scenery, a small physique. She was filling herself with a fresh vitality without becoming stiff. From what I could see of her face, there was a pinch of anxiety there. Her black hair rippled, habitually covering her forehead. Her young vitality covered by a fragile film of glass. A girl who ought to be loved. Being hurt breaks off fragments, so she sometimes hurts others. But the back holding her slender shoulders up was delicate and even looked defenseless. So much so that I might attack it. She appeared to have not noticed my presence. Pull out to her. Hello, Miss Innocence. Her whole body stiffened. Stress covered her back. She slowly turned to face me. In the midst of the slow movements, she barely took up an offensive posture. When she turned around, her gaze was stern. Ohayo?
何の用です?
She spoke, in the lowest possible voice. I don't want anything, but...
でしたら
Kitty said, cutting out my
どう
words.
ぞお引き取りを。
I shrugged my shoulders. Actually, I do have business here. Kitty's eyes narrowed vexingly. Is Miki-kun around here?
いません。
Did she come here?
いません。
She was in no mood for mulling over the details. I shrugged. I've got nothing to go on
は
then.
い。ありません。
I sat in a nearby chair. Well, biology serious. It's such a melancholic time. See, humanity's been annihilated. She stared at me. She seemed on the lookout for my every move. You know, Miss Innocence.
人をそんな名前で呼ばないでください。
You know, Kitty-chin.
慣れ慣れしく名前で呼ばないでください。
I shrugged for the time. I really do tease you a lot. I stood up. Her looked out, strengthened. She shivered. Incredibly cute. Jesus Christ, his thoughts. The sadistic macho. Maso. Okay, the sadistic maso that I am can find satisfaction in this character. Leopold Ritter von Sacher-Masoch is the man after whom masochism was named. Let's just say M-Man. I laughed invisibly. Kitty hesitated. She lowered her hips, taking a stance from which she could run at any moment. I moved faintly, standing in front of a certain seat. Was it this Kitty's seat?
呼び捨てにしないでください。あなたの分際で。
It was like a knife, sticking right through me. Sakura's seat. With slow motion as I tried to sit down there. She screamed at the end of her wits. I froze in place. Why not?
汚れますから。
She seemed embarrassed about getting upset, and her voice lowered even further. Then there's no choice. I sat down. Ooh, it's hot. Really hot. I'm Oda Nobunaga, a major daimyo or feudal lord during Sengoku, who lived a life of conscious military conquest. Silence? Kitty's shoulders were shaking. Was it that mortifying? She seemed to horribly dislike this.
何しに来たんですか?
I smiled brightly. For Miss Innocent chastity.
帰ってください。
But I haven't done anything
こ
yet.
の上何かする気なんですか?
Whatever shall I do? I worried. Touching glassware leaves fingerprints. That sort of hesitation. Fine, I'll go. She ignored me. Either ignore or knife. Right after some small talk.
帰ってください。
I shrugged for time. I brought your school supplies. I searched through Kiri's bag. Today was just the opening ceremony. Are you the type to bring all your school books on the first day and leave them there?
勝
Here?
手に見ないでください。 カバンに触れないでください。
I shrugged the fifth time. I'm shrugging my shoulders a lot. This is Sakura Kiri after all. The girl with the alias Miss Innocence. Everything I do hurts you, doesn't it? Are you tired?
誰のせいでと。
Her voice was shaking from rage. She's always blunt, but with humanity's annihilation. Kitty's quite disturbed, and the wall around her heart seemed to be weakening. It might be my fault. I chuckled. I shrugged. Shrugging at high speed certainly relaxes my shoulders. Through the motion of it's comical.
出て行ってくれますか。
It was desperately controlling her desire to become enraged. I made her too mad. I'll walk away. Hey, can we eat lunch together? Kitty looked at me blankly. May I? Well, see you. Tell Kitty-chan that I hope to see her again. I left the classroom.
先輩。
Someone called me from behind. Yo! Done cleaning? Miki was surprised. I think this is a stopping point. This is my stopping point. Although he let himself be known that he has an idea Miki was cleaning. But like, this should be the first time he's encountering Miki, but because he read the notebooks and all. Anyway, that's it for Cross Channel. Hopefully I do another upload tomorrow. The start of a new route, as always, like, gives me energy to read. I hope I'm not too distracted tomorrow. I'm still doing a lot of training and listening. And I hope you guys are watching, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Ciao.